Hi, everybody. Good morning. My name's Ginger Newsom. I'm going to be your instructor for first summer term of Math 125. I want to introduce myself. I try not to make this video too long, but I want to give you the highlights and go over a little bit. Okay, first of all, Math 125 is basically a college algebra course. The first three tests, we're going to have four tests. The first three tests deals with good old college algebra issues. And the last test is trig, a little bit of trig. So this class is most people refer to it as pre-cal because some of you that are needing to take Calculus 1 have to take this as a prerequisite. Some of you, I think I'm correct, that need to get into Chem 105 might have to have this as a prerequisite where you have to make a B in it. But some of you I know are taking it just as your regular math course. So, and you don't necessarily have to have a B, but either way, yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of college algebra stuff. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen and show you about things. First of all, let me say this. The class is all online. We're not going to be meeting each day. I have everything written out for you on Blackboard. So you can, if you watch this, but you still have questions, everything's written there and the syllabus. We're going to look at that in just a second. Yeah, so all the notes, lectures, everything you need is online. We won't be meeting. I mean, I have videos of myself lecturing and working things out that you're welcome to watch from a previous semester. But yeah, our tests are going to be taken online. All of it's completely online. Okay. So this is probably the only time you'll see me unless we hop on Zoom for office hours, which I'm available all the time to do if you need help. Okay, so let me share my screen real quick. Let's go to Blackboard. Okay, so here's our Blackboard course. Here obviously is where I will post our video. So when you open Blackboard, this is what's going to have your syllabus, your course calendar, all of the lessons, notes, anything that I post with notes, the lessons of what we're covering, everything is located on Blackboard. Okay, this is where you'll go to find stuff. Okay, you also have to have a subscription or pay for it. So the only thing you really have to pay for is a subscription to Pearson, which is our online software. And we'll talk about that in just a second, but it is the place where you're going to do all of your homework and you're going to take all of your tests. Okay, and that requires a little bit of money. Okay, so there's two things. Pearson, which is where you do actually the work, and then Blackboard is where I'm going to post all my announcements and all the lessons, everything. Okay, so if you go on there, first of all, I mean, if you're on Blackboard, if you see this video, you're probably on Blackboard already. I've listed things right here for you. We're going to go over, the syllabus is kind of long. We'll go over some of the highlights, but you want to read it to make sure you understand everything. And then, so that's first, read the syllabus. Second, we'll talk about Pearson, which is our, we also call it My Math Lab. So it's two different names. Okay. So yeah, let me just go ahead. Well, before we open the syllabus, if you look over to the left in our tab bar, notice, now mine looks a little different because of course I'm an instructor, so you won't have all of this, but start here. This is the page that we're on. This is what we have just to get set up in the course. After a little while, I'll probably change it to announcements that when you open, and that way any announcements that I post about upcoming tests or anything, I'll also email them to you, but I'll have them posted here so you can go back and read that. Okay. All right. See, notice on the left, lessons. Lessons is where you'll go to figure out, what we're covering. Okay. Testing and uploading scratch paper, that comes when it comes time for testing. We'll talk a little bit about that. But our first test is not until Monday, and I'll give you more information on that, of course, as we get closer to testing. But we are testing using Respondus Monitor and Lockdown Browser. So you will record yourself taking your test. So make sure you have a computer that will, if it's too old, then you might have trouble with respondents monitor, but make sure you have a computer with a webcam so you can take your test. Okay. But anyway, your information is over here on the left. Okay, let's look at lessons. Of course, I've got my office hours. I don't know if I've even updated that yet. Pretty much, I'm not going to have office hours. Since this is an online class, everybody is working at their own time, right? And in the past, when I've set office hours, no one would show up. So what I want to do is just letting you know I'm around these next 4 weeks. I'm in and out of the house, but I'm not going to be on my computer all day. So I'm probably going to give y'all my cell phone and let you text me. So if you're having trouble about something, you can text me. I don't normally give my cell phone out, but we have a class of about 30. I'm just not on my computer all day if we're not testing. So don't want you to be needing me and not able to get me. So I will probably post that someplace, probably in my contact hour, or I'll email it to you. Okay. All right. So let's look real quick. If you move on down, you have the syllabus and the course calendar. It's also found over in the tab bar. Let's look at the calendar real quick. All right. We have what, a 4-week course, basically. Look, I've just broken this down into sections that you can cover each day. Look, you don't have to stick to this. If you have today free and you're busy on Wednesday, you can go ahead and start working ahead of things. I have it set to where the homework for each section is due the day that you take your test. Okay. So you have all week to do all of your homework. All right. Now, look, I say that to tell you, please don't wait until the last minute to do all of your homework. Okay. I also can tell when you take 2 minutes to do your homework, which obviously is saying that you're not working your homework and you're using a math app. Okay. Work your homework, right? I've spread it out to where it's basically 2 sections a day, which is not crazy. And then once you prepare for test 1, we have a review assignment that you can work through that'll help you prepare for your test. And our test will be our first one will be on Monday. I have set aside the whole day just for taking the test. Okay. The way the test will work is I'll open it like it real early in the morning, and you have until midnight to have it completed. So you have all day to prepare, study for it, take your tests at a time that's good for you. Okay. So you can kind of see how it works. Yeah, test 2 is a little bit, not as much time, but we can get through it. So test 2, then test 3. So most of the tests are on Fridays, right? Except for this next one, which normally would if we had started on Monday, right? But Memorial Day was yesterday. Okay. So we have test 4, and then look at the final. The final, there's 2 days. There's for Ole Miss, they've set Monday and Tuesday as exam time, right? But since we're taking it online, we don't have a set time to take our exam. So I'll just have this window open that you can take it. You can take it Monday or Tuesday, but it needs to be done by Tuesday night, June 25th at midnight. Okay. So that's the calendar. Okay. And of course, like I said, these sections, you don't have to stick to that, right? It's really for you. You're kind of going at your own pace as long as you have the material covered in time for your test. Okay. And once again, like I said, your homework is due on the same time that your test is due, right? So you have all week to do. So if you don't get all of your homework done by the due date, you can work it after the due date for half credit. Okay. All of the homework is due final notice right before the exam on June 23rd, this Sunday. Any late or unfinished homework you can work for half credit until that day. Okay. So that's the calendar. Let me go back. Sorry. I've got everything. There we go. Okay, sorry. Now let's look at the syllabus. Okay. There's a lot of words in it, so we'll just kind of go through it. This is, of course, our software. Look, like I said before, the only thing you really have to purchase in this course is access to Pearson, which is our online software. We also call it My Math Lab. It runs, I think, about $80. We'll talk about that in just a second. This is the textbook, but you don't need to purchase a textbook. Pearson comes with an ebook. Yeah, and pretty much I give you everything you need in the course through my notes. So, all right. Okay, homework. Okay, I mentioned on this, every section has homework. At the end of the 4 weeks, I will drop your 2 lowest homeworks, and that homework overall average will count the same as a test grade. Okay, so homework is a great opportunity to raise your grade because your homework grade ought to be pretty high, right? If you do your homework, right? If you don't do your homework, it'll be low. But yeah, so make sure you do your homework. Okay, and then of course I will drop the 2. Like I told you, Sunday, and I'll remind you as we get closer, that's 4 weeks away, but you have until that Sunday before final exams to get all of it done for half credit. Okay, 4 major tests. Yeah, 4 major tests. I'm going to drop your lowest of the 4 tests. Okay, you will have a final exam that's comprehensive. You cannot drop the final exam. The final exam is mandatory. You have to take the final exam. Okay, but I have set it for this summer to where the final exam is going to count the same as a regular test. Normally, the final exam counts twice, 200 points. I've set it to count only one time, so it doesn't count quite as much, but it does count the same as your test, right? So your homework grade will be worth 100 points, your exam will be worth 100 points, and then you have 4 tests, but I'm going to drop one of those, right? And so that'll total 300 points, okay? So just make sure you can't drop your final. It's comprehensive. It is longer. You'll have longer to take. But since the course is so quick, it'll all be fresh on your mind. Okay, like I told you, the way we're going to test is we're going to be using Respondus Monitor on your computer. You have to record yourself. Yeah, you have I give you more than 60 minutes to take the test just to give you time. Most people don't run out of time. Anyway, the whole videoing thing is we'll talk about it as we get closer. I know a lot of people want to try to cheat on this, and that makes me really, really, really mad. Okay, so don't cheat. Okay, we're going to be videoing, and I'm specifically want you to video where, like, if you look at mine, I want it to be tilted down where I can see you writing. I want to know that you are working on your test. You are writing your scratch paper, and you have to turn in your scratch paper so I can check your work. If you don't show me the proper work of how you got your answers, I will not give you credit for it. I will take it off. So I've seen a lot of people in the past who obviously are trying to use some kind of math app, and they put the right answer and show no work, and I will count off. Okay. I need you to be honest in this. Okay. If you miss a test for any reason, that will be your drop grade. Okay. No makeups given whatsoever. Okay. The calculators, most people, y'all probably have a graphing calculator from high school laying around, but in this course, they're not allowed. Not even a scientific calculator. A scientific calculator is just a regular calculator that's not graphing, but it includes sine and tangent and cosine. They're not allowed. Why? Well, the reason is if you move on to Cal 1, they don't allow calculators either. So we're trying to get you prepared for that. But you are allowed a basic 4-function calculator that lets you add, subtract, multiply, divide, and take the square root. Okay, those are very cheap. You'll be given a calculator. You'll have access online when you have Respondus Monitor, but you can buy one of those at the drugstore. It's really cheap, and I've got some examples on Blackboard of kind of what they look like. Okay, all right, I already told you the final exam is comprehensive. You cannot drop it. The testing information, this is listed really what we're talking about Respondus Monitor. Once again, you've got a week before we're testing. So as we get closer to the test, we will talk more about that. And I do have directions on Blackboard about setting up Respondus Monitor and all of that. I will say in Pearson, which is where we do our homework, I have a Respondus Monitor pre-test in there that you need to take. Everybody has to take it before they take their test. But don't worry, it's just like a fake little test. I think I asked one question where you answer true or false. But what they're doing is, what we're doing is we're wanting you to take it and making sure that you have Respondus Monitor downloaded and everything working on your computer and all set up to go. So when you actually take your test, you've got things, you won't have problems. Okay. So that's in Pearson. All right. Pass the testing. This is just where I've already talked to you that test. You can see that on the calendar of when our tests are. Once again, I told you our final exam will be that Monday and Tuesday of final exams. You have both days to take it. Some people want to go ahead and take it and get it over with, or they may wait until Tuesday. There is tutoring available, and there's a link on Blackboard that you could go and see that you can contact them via Zoom. If you happen to live in Oxford, they actually are offering in-person tutoring. And there's info about that you can use if you're in town. Okay, final grades. Like I told you, it's on a point system, right? Total of 500 points. 100 points for the homework. The final exam is another 100 points, okay? And then your tests are going to add up to 300. Remember, I'm giving you 4, but I'm dropping 1. So that's 300. If you add those up, you have 500 points, okay? And so the way we want it to get an A, which we've lowered the requirements for an A. Normally a 90% is an A minus, but we're letting a 90 be an A, and a B, you just need to have an 80% and not a 82 or 83%. So we're kind of giving that to you. So you add your points. In order to get a B in the class, you need 400 points out of the 500. And really at the end, you just add up your tests, right? Your homework grade and your final exam. And if you can get over 400, then you've got your B. Okay. But this tells you everything you're looking for. Okay, attendance verification. We just need to verify that you're in the class. And I'm just going to I'm not sure what the deadline is, but we shouldn't have problems with that. You've got to just do some work. I'm going to look and see if you've gotten on Pearson and actually done some of your homework, and that'll tell me that you're actually in the class. Okay, but that needs to be done sometime in the next few days. Here's a calculator. Here's the example of the calculator. See, this is just a basic 4-function calculator. It doesn't have a lot of, operations you can do. Add, subtract, multiply, divide. It does allow a square root. Those are the calculators that are allowed. Yeah, and I wrote on here in the cheating, I want y'all to understand, okay? When you're videoing yourself, I realize that is opens the door for people to not be honest. Please don't do that, okay? That Respondus Monitor, I do check the videos, right? I'm checking your scratch paper. I want to make sure that it matches up, and you've got to turn that scratch paper in immediately, okay? No turning it in later, okay? So if you are in the red, if you're involved in having someone take a test for you, someone helping you to take a test by maybe sitting next to you off on the camera, or if you're taking the test for someone, that will be an automatic 0, and an unforgivable F will be my recommendation. I will turn you into the Committee of Academic Dishonesty at Ole Miss, okay? The math apps on your phone, right? This is cheating if you're looking up something using your phone or iPad. All right. Okay. The rest of this is, the withdrawal date is Thursday, June 6th. You have a little while before that. And then the other stuff is just tech support. Okay. That is that's our syllabus. Let's look real quick at, go back to, okay, that's the course calendar. Let's talk about setting up my math lab. Okay, it really is not hard to do, but once again, this is what is require a little bit of money, okay? So if you're not sure if you want to stay in this course, you do have the ability to purchase a temporary code, and that is if you haven't taken the class already. If for some reason you're retaking it, you can't do another temporary. But when you go on here, I have directions, but honestly, right down here, this link will take you straight to the sign up for my class. If they ever ask for the course code, it's highlighted in yellow. It's Newsome 32400, right? And you'll sign up. So when you're signing up for it there online, they're going to ask you for how you want to pay for it. And they give you 3 options. Like I said, the temporary code is free, but it's for 14 days. After that, you're going to have to pay for it. But like I said, if you're not sure you're going to stay in it, you might want to try that in case you think you might drop. Second one, you can purchase through PayPal. Yeah. Or a credit card, something like that. Okay. And they'll take it right there. It's actually a little bit cheaper to do it online than it is to go to the bookstore at Ole Miss and purchase it, the access code there. It's actually a little more expensive at the bookstore. Okay, but it's pretty easy once you do that. They do offer 2 options. I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't do just the cheaper one, the $80 one for 18 weeks. Now the 1 year, that's just assuming that you already assume that you're gonna have to retake it, and then you would have it. But this Pearson account does not. This is not also for like calculus, right? This is for this class only. So I would suggest paying the 18-week, the $80. If you end up having to retake it, you'll have to repurchase it again. Okay. All right, that's Blackboard. We've done syllabus. That one last thing. Well, no, I want to show you a couple of things. Like once again, over in the left-hand side, notice we have lessons. Okay, so when you want to start working your homework or going through things, you're going to click on lessons. Okay, I tried to make it to where you can find it pretty easily. I have it split into our test material. I thought that might be the easiest. So this folder has got test 1 material. I will say I copied some of this over from a previous Blackboard, and I think I have all my dates correct. But if something shows up talking about January or something, just know that I missed it. But I spent all day yesterday getting this, making sure I had my dates right. But this is for this first week, right? Our first test is next Monday. Once again, I just wrote this. This is just, you don't have to do just R5 and R6. You can go ahead and knock out as many sections as you want to today. If you want to load it up on a day, it's up to you, okay? This is just a suggestion. Okay, now notice on this, first of all, you're going to click on the test to get the material. Okay, we'll do that in a second. But notice down here in yellow, this is a video of me working out the review assignment. So when it comes time for test 1, there's a review assignment on Pearson that helps you study. It's not worth anything, but it's strictly to help you prepare for the test. And I pulled one up. Now it's a few years ago, so it's probably out of date as far as if I talk about something in there that's something past, it's from a previous semester. But I'm working out examples. I don't have every problem, but I have every kind of problem in there. So very helpful for this video to help you prepare. Okay, but test 1 material, you'll click on it. Okay, I know it seems like a lot of stuff, but let me just show you everything you have. First of all, I've posted my class notes. So during the semester when I'm teaching in person, this is what I'm teaching. And these are the notes worked out for you. Some people in the past have really liked that because they can see the problems being worked out and like to look at things that way. So this is just supplemental. Like I said, they don't satisfy the disability requirements. So this really is just supplemental that you could use. But I have it broken down into each section. The first 3 sections, the R stands for review. So this is kind of reviewing things. R5, for example, only covers 2 different things, but I have 2 small videos that explain how to do each kind of problem. There's 2 kinds of problems. Some of these problems I made videos. Some of them I picked videos from the internet or from Pearson. Okay, so I haven't done all of them myself, but you can watch those. I tried to keep them as short videos so they don't have real long ones. Okay, R6 is on factoring polynomials. A lot of people y'all's age, really from COVID, we can see that a lot of people are struggle on learning how to factor. This class is not about trying to teach you how to factor. It's supposed to be review, but some of you may really have to go back and work on that. Okay, I've posted videos of different ways of factoring, so hopefully that'll help you. They're small videos. Okay, and you see our 7, then we get 1, we get into solving equations. This first test is really mainly about solving different equations, all these different kinds. Okay, please don't wait until this weekend to start doing your work and study. A lot of people have a hard time with this first test. It's solving equations, it's stuff you've done before, but for some reason it always ends up being the worst test. Okay, so please pay the time. Okay. So like I said, for each section, you can take one each day. If you want to do that, you can use my notes. I'm sorry, back up here if you'd like to do that. Also, look on the left side. Do you see the recorded Zoom sessions? Let me show you this. Like I said, disclaimer, just letting you know what these are. This was back during COVID when we were not able to teach in person, so we had to teach on Zoom. I recorded all of my classes, and these are from them. So that's why the dates are all off. It's back from 2021, okay? But it is the same material. And so a lot of people in the past, I've had these. I probably need to update these, but a lot of people have found these very helpful to watch them. So just remember when I'm talking about, it's the spring semester of 2021. Okay, so it's been a while. Okay, so I have them from test 1. I've split them down for you. Okay, so you can use those. So lots of different ways to help you study. I don't want you to look overwhelmed, but I've given you different options, and it's really kind of up to you. Some people prefer looking at the Zoom videos, and then some people like just looking at my notes. Okay, but once again, this is where you'll find everything, lessons on Blackboard. When it comes time to testing, I've got all this information. Okay, you really don't need to worry about this now because the test is not for another week. Okay, but after you take your test, I have to see your scratch paper, so you will upload your scratch paper right here. There's directions about it, and I'll have a place here where you can upload your scratch paper. All right. Okay. One more thing. Sorry, I'm taking so long. One last thing. If we go back to start here, real quick about this setting up your Pearson. I already talked about how you set it up. Okay, so if you go to my math lab, which I have mine set up. All right. Here's our course. Now I have a lot of them, but over here, online first summer, this is our Pearson course. So if you click on it, and mine looks a little different. I have this assignment manager, that's me, but you will have assignments. Okay, I have it set up to where I've only listed the assignments for test 1, and then once you take test 1, test 2 will show. This is your homework. It's very straightforward and simple to use. If you click on it, like this first section has 10 problems. If you click on each problem, it's really nice. We give you 3 opportunities to answer it incorrectly. So I'm just going to answer some. I'm going to do them incorrect. Try again. Second time, I got that one wrong. You have a third time to answer the same problem incorrect. So 3 times you've tried to answer it, and sometimes that happens. People type things in wrong. And so it's nice if you accidentally typed a period instead of comma, you don't have to rework the whole problem. So you have a couple of opportunities to get it right. Once you do, you can go to the next question, or you can hit similar question. They'll give you a new question. So you never run out of attempts to get this problem correct, right? So you should have hundreds on all of your homework. Okay, so similar question will give you a similar one, right? Very similar. Or you can go to the next question, right? And they'll give you others. So if you can see on the right, if you have a red X, that means you haven't gotten it correct. If you get it correct, there'll be a green check, right? And that's how you work it. You can skip around. You get credit for the ones that you've worked. Okay. It's not all or nothing. So that's how the homework works. Okay. Like I said, if you notice in the assignments, there's no test listed. Oh, there's my assignment manager, sorry. Assignments. Up here, it's set just on homework. On the day of the test, this is the review, right? Once again, that's to help you prepare. It's not for any credit. But notice up here it says homework. You can go to all assignments, right? This Respondus Monitor Lockdown Pretest, okay? This is the one that you have to take, right? You can do that today if you want to, just to make sure your computer is set up. Once again, there's no real test. It's just to help you get it set up and prepared. So when you do take your test, you'll have everything ready. You can't take your test until you've taken the Respondus Monitor pretest. Okay, it's right there. And then on test day, test one will appear. So you'll be able to take it actually on test day. Okay, that's kind of long, but I hope that explains things for those of you who might have watched it. I mean, I hope it's going to be a great semester. Like I said, I'm not going to have office hours every day, but I am going to make my cell phone available. So if you need me and if you've emailed me and I haven't responded, and that could very well happen since it's summer and I'm not at work each day, I could not be on my computer. So I want you to be able to text me if you need me or have a question, okay? Because I can always hop on Zoom. We can hop on Zoom easily and work problems if you're having any trouble with anything. I really do want to be available to you. I hope it's going to be a great 4 weeks. Looking forward to it. Okay, bye-bye.